So, why do we have politicians? This is a question that popped into my mind at least 10 years ago. Because, as we all know, none of these politicians really represent us. I mean, they don't have the capacity to represent us. At best, one person could represent the needs of like up to 6 people. But outside of that, it becomes too big of a sample. I mean, the human mind is only capable of filtering through so much information. So why do we have politicians? Well, it comes from a time where the fastest a message could travel was at the speed of a horse. We needed politicians to represent us. We can't fit an entire country into one room and have everyone's needs heard. So really it was done for efficiency, because our communication pathways were so constrained. I mean, you can't have people stop their lives to go to a meeting that's hundreds of miles away. So there was a point in history, because groups became so big, that we needed politicians. So it made sense in a time like that. But we now live in a time where everyone in the world can be in the same room at the same time. Everyone can be a part of decision making. And everyone can represent themselves authentically. And we have systems that can filter all these wants and needs into actions. In city-states, direct democracy worked, unless you were a slave, for a city, because everybody in a city or near to a city, they don't have to travel so far to be a part of the democracy. But when the groups become bigger, like multiple cities, then it becomes more difficult to have a direct democracy in a system where you don't have the internet. But we do have the internet now, and we can communicate instantly. So that's why I don't think we need politicians anymore. I mean, they like to say we're too stupid to all be involved in democracy, but that's just obviously a lie. Because no one can understand what somebody else is going through without actually going through it themselves. So no one can represent anybody else. It has to be direct democracy to have a true democracy. We'll never have a system where everyone is represented. It will always be the elected officials making the decisions. It will always be a small amount of people making the decisions for a larger amount of people. It should be a direct democracy now, where neighborhoods make their own decisions within that neighborhood. Like, take, for example, an HOA. An HOA is led by elected officials. An HOA could be a perfect direct democracy. The decisions made by everybody that lives in that association. Not a few people on a board of the HOA. It's the same as an elected government. Few people are making decisions for most people. And a system like that will never reflect a true democracy. Like, the biggest problem with elected officials is you're literally telling private interest. That you don't have to bribe all of us. You just have to bribe this one person. It's like elected officials is just like a list of people that we organize for corporations as like a list of people to bribe. Like, oh, you want to make stuff happen? Well, here's the list of people. You just bribe them and you can do whatever you want. In a direct democracy, they gotta bribe all of us. So instead of elected officials getting big payouts under the table, they gotta pay all of us under the table. And if they're paying all of us under the table, well, then it's not under the table anymore. You essentially get rid of the incentive for corruption right there with a direct democracy. So obviously I've been thinking about this for a long time. And so like the honest truth is like we need to use this system to get to a direct democracy. We have to use an elected official system to get to direct democracy. And we can't do it the way we've been doing it, where it matters how much money you can pump into it. Needs to be a different kind of thing. So my idea, I mean, feel free to comment if you want to have discourse about this, but I think we need to elect people, like real people, into elected official positions with this intention of transforming our democracy into a direct democracy, which can be done in 1 or 2 terms in every state. It just has to be, everybody's got to be on board, or just most people have to be on board. I mean, most people are going to be afraid of having responsibility because we were built to be dependent. But humans adjust to this really quick, actually. Zappos is a perfect example of this. I don't know if you've ever called customer service at Zappos, but it's the best fucking customer service you'll ever come across. I mean, you can tell people in that company actually fucking talk to each other. It's not this hierarchy of administrators trying to justify their job by like only by withholding information, or you know what it's like. You've all worked in hierarchies before. All of us fucking work in hierarchies. They're extremely inefficient. So what we do is we fucking unionize every neighborhood. Every neighborhood has their own union where they all elect somebody for whatever elected position is coming up. And then the neighborhoods next to them, they elect their people and across the board. And then the neighborhoods in those districts, and then the districts those neighborhoods are in, then they elect their people for those positions. So each district is represented by people that are in the fucking district, not somebody from outside of the district. Not some from neighboring, not from some neighboring district either. Every district should represent the district. It should be run by the district. That's it. Zip code, run by the zip code. County, ran by the fucking county. Each city runs the city. The people of that city. Not the one that donated the most to the election campaign. I mean, that's straight bullshit. We could just sidestep that. We don't have to just accept that shit. All we have to do is like walk outside and talk to our fucking neighbors and unionize. Elect our own people and then move up to where like, so if there's some district position coming up, like legislative position in 2026, which is a lot of fucking places in the US, they all have their election before the official election. This could be done pretty quick. So we all have our own elections first. And then when the official election comes, like, oh, look at that. 100% for that candidate. It's almost like the district made up its fucking mind before the election even happened. That's what we need to do. We don't need money to win elections. All we need to do is donate our time to our neighborhoods, to where we live. Now, I'm going to talk about Nevada a little bit just because that's where I'm from. It's going to be different for everybody in every state, but in Nevada, if the majority of people do this, if the majority of neighborhoods do this, if they elect their own people, if they unionize, then they can take the governor's seat. They can take all the seats. And in Nevada, if the governor and a majority petition are aligned, I mean, they could fucking do anything. I mean, their only vulnerability in that situation is assassination. Apart from that, it's the closest thing to a direct democracy. Is the governor and the majority being on the same side and using that majority petition? Woo. I mean, we could change a lot. That's the whole reason I started this YouTube channel, is to look at the structural issues underneath all the politics. Because focusing on the politicians, or the puppets as I like to think of them, is a fucking waste of time. Because all of us are on the same fucking side. All the working class is on the same side. Who are the working class? Well, the working class is the 99.99%. The people that actually show an income. Those are the 99.99% of the people in the world. That's the working class. All those people are on the same fucking side, regardless of what bullshit is in between them. That shit's all fucking manufactured to keep you motherfuckers divided. Because if we're divided, then we don't make the fucking rules. If we're on the same fucking side, which we are, and we all agree on basic shit, we control the government. The majority has never controlled the government, but we can. We just need to drop all that bullshit they feed us. We need to look at the truth underneath all the politics. This shit's all about land ownership. It always has been. Only about like 26% of homeowners in US, according to official numbers, own their property outright. Everybody else is a renter. And in the commercial sector, it's way fucking worse than that. I mean, everybody's seen whole commercial districts just sitting empty, thinking like, oh, well, that looks terrible, or I wish they would open up businesses there, or that land sitting vacant isn't just free. Somebody is paying for that. The fucking taxpayers are paying for that. All your houses around that vacant lot are more expensive because that vacant lot creates scarcity. Because they can hold that land, pay less taxes, and are incentivized to do nothing with it, because over time the value is going to rise, that just makes everything more expensive for everybody in the area. You have to change it. You have to change the incentives. And we're only going to do that shit together. No fucking politician put in power by money is ever going to fucking change it for us. Just all you have to do is look at fucking history. Look at like the continuation of policies. I mean, when you do You can't find a president that was ever on the side of the 99.9%. Even FDR. We promote him in school like he's some hero. And in reality, he was just a fucking businessman. He didn't even meet all the demands of the unions. Anyway, so yeah, I think this whole idea of us continuing to rely on elected officials is never going to work for most of us. And that we need to transition to a more direct democracy where everyone is involved. Everyone that lives in a city is involved in what that city does. Politicians are fucking obsolete. It was something that we needed before, but we don't need that shit anymore. Humanity is more educated now than it ever has been as a whole. Where this idea of direct democracy tends to break down is group dynamics, where groups have an influence on your decision making. And this is why they have us all vote in person, in public. They don't want us to do it online because we'll be alone and we won't be influenced by those around us. But I think in a true direct democracy, we all do it from our phones. We all do it in private. We can all contribute without the fear of being judged, like this anonymous kind of involvement. Or maybe not anonymous. Maybe when we all have equal say in something, there isn't this feeling of the feeling of superiority disappears. I mean, because that whole idea of superiority, it kind of comes from the hierarchy that we have. Because when we elect people to represent us, we're essentially saying that these people are superior. And everywhere you look, you see fucking hierarchies everywhere. In politics, in schools, in religion, in literally everywhere you look, there's hierarchies. And we call it natural. And I think hierarchies are natural. But hierarchies of people over people are not fucking useful. Problems over problems or issues over issues. Sure, yeah, that makes sense. Those hierarchies make sense. But people over people, fuck off. Ideas over whatever, but just not people over people. That is just this ancient idea that just needs to go the fuck away. So, yeah, the whole reason for this video is to just try to inspire people to look away from this broken shit and to start building shit in your community. Start building your own unions. To inspire everybody to start their own unions in their own neighborhoods, their own districts, their own zip codes, their own cities, their own counties, their own states. Because it needs to start at the state level. The federal government is another issue that we'll get to when enough of us states actually take our states back. Not really back, because we never had them in the first place, but just take them. As far as the people that are representing the other people are dismantling this bullshit hierarchy and distributing responsibility to everyone in the state. Everyone becomes part of politics. Everyone is part of politics. They just don't let us participate. They only let the superior ones participate. Oh, fuck that. So this is to inspire people in other states. But if you live in Nevada, please reach out to me. if this idea interests you, because that's what I want to do in Nevada, because I am a resident of Nevada. So I'm after Nevada. I want Nevada to be run by the working class, the people who live there. Other people from outside can invest in our state, but the value that we generate in your investment is ours. That belongs to us. Your profits you can take out, but the value that we create around your business belongs to us. So feel free to, if you're in Nevada, feel free to like watch my other videos, see like my perspectives, and if you're down, send me a direct message and let's start unionizing. All right, peace. See you tomorrow.